Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mop here on a Monday morning. What a beautiful day. Going to be hotter than Hades, that is for sure. I don't know, there's some weird statements. Have you ever heard the people just, and maybe it's the older generations, that had these weird, just weird stuff. Colder than a well digger's, just all weird stuff. Hotter than Hades. Hotter than a witch's. It's just weird. I don't know. All weird statements, but funny in that we all learned them at some point from either grandparents or our parents. But, welcome to the Mop. And Cruelty is not okay. So over the weekend, we lost a Republican Senator, Lindsey Graham. Now, did I agree with anything? Absolutely not. Especially when he was hobnobbing with the current president. I feel Lindsey did not go that way. But it also is a sad day because he passed. And we have to look at things like that even though we disliked people or dislike people, and we have a president that's okay wishing the death on people, he was still he still had family. He still had people that cared and were close to him. So they lost a big part of their life over the weekend. And it sounds like it was very sudden where nobody got to really say goodbye to Senator Graham. So we need to step back. We need to step back and take a closer look at what our goals are in life and what we are intending to do. Like I said, I did not agree with anything the man did. I don't agree with what he had to say for a majority of it. He did respect President Biden. He made that very clear. But he crossed many lines with some of the stuff he wanted. But when he died, it still left a vacant spot in many parts of their family. So I saw some of the posts and some of the comments about, well, I hope you enjoy the hot, dry heat, things like that, like he's going to hell. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree that anybody should be talked about in that manner. I hope when I pass that I get judged for my belief, as it says in the Bible that I will. I get judged on my character. I get judged and I get through to heaven's gates. I'm not the one here to say Lindsey Graham where he is or where he isn't. They all talk about Christianity and they all talk about their belief, but you never know what's in someone's heart. Quite honestly, none of us equal up to what it should take to get into heaven. None of our behavior is even close. I struggle every day with my expectations of what I want out of myself and what I would like out of others. I struggle every day with it. Wearing mom's shirt today, I went up and trimmed her headstone around her headstone and gravestone yesterday. Went out and did the same at my brother's. Roxanne and I went and visited 2 other cemeteries, where her late husband is. My brother-in-law, my mother-in-law. I never met her dad, who's buried there as well, but I went out with her and trimmed around all of them, and all the real flowers got watered heavily because of the next 4 days of 97-degree heat is going to be miserable. But I don't do those things to try to gain favor. I don't try to do those things and say, oh, look at me. I do those things because that's what my heart says to do. That's what my mind says to do. If it helps my wife and alleviates some things, perfect. Did not sleep good again last night. Lots of dreams and weird crap going on. But when are we, and I ask this so many times, but when are we going to start to care about others, to care about helping others? And I'm not saying that I don't see people doing it. That's not what I'm saying. I do see shorter tempers. I do see shorter fuses. I do see the lack of trying to negotiate and talk things through. It's either the right way or the wrong way, is how I see a lot of it these days. And that's too bad. It really is. It's too bad that that's how it is these days, but it seems pretty much that people are either burnt out from trying to help so much and they haven't seen it work, to where they just say, screw it, I'm done, whatever it may be. And I hope at some point we can get back to where we care about our neighbor, no matter who our neighbor may be. And I drove around Richland Center yesterday, before I went up to the cemetery. And what amazes me, as you drive through our beautiful area, as you drive through our town and our countrysides, is the lack, and maybe it's just how I am, the lack of your personal area, on whether you keep it cleaned up, whether you just let crap go. We got houses that have stuff sitting on front porches in Richland Center that have storage boxes that go clear to the roof of their front porch. That's what you see. You have people, though, that aren't checking on their neighbors, and they put on these websites about how their neighbors are lazy or they don't mow, or, you know, how do you get a hold of the city? You know, I mowed the other day because the neighbor said, hey, Chris, I blew a belt on my tractor and it just won't get to it right away. Okay. So I made a quick pass around his area just to knock it down. When do we get back to some of that? When do we get back to hoping that things go well? With our part being our part is helping that part go well. We have people posting things that just make absolute no sense. And I think it's because, A, they don't have to use their real name or any kind of name. And B, they can do it from their safety of their home, where you can be a real witch or a dick or whatever you want to call them, because you don't have accountability. Would you say those same things in a room with those that you're talking about? You know? It's just an interesting thought. So, with that said, take time to help your neighbor. Take time to try to understand that there's things people are going through that you've never had to. And take time to realize that you have more impact in this world than you think. You can affect a lot more. Well, Chris, just look at me. This is what trust me, you can affect a lot of people with just your attitude, with just saying hi, with saying thank you, or helping somebody out if you can bless them. So may you have a great day. May you, that's not good. Med flight's in town. Have a great day, but stay cool. If you know people that are struggling with this heat and things like that, or if they need a ride somewhere, maybe you can do that. Line up a ride. But take care. I went up and talked to Mom yesterday in the morning, just to check in, I guess, is my mental way to check in the mornings. I went up and, like I said, I cleaned up around her headstone and things like that. that's the only thing I've got left. And I watched a small video clip when she was getting close to the end of her time, and it makes no sense what she's talking about, but at least I get to hear her voice. And that's huge for me. The Facebook memories of her when she was clear and could post and comment was a huge thing for me as well. So those are the things that go on for me, and they get mentally tiring. Yesterday I took an hour-long nap after doing all the stuff we did because of all the emotions. I get mentally exhausted. It's hard to describe if you've never had a brain injury. But if you do a lot of thinking or a lot of conversations and things like that, the mental exhaustion is real. So be patient with others, and I wish you the best. I really do. And may you take some time to bless somebody today. I will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of The Mop, and we'll talk then. Have a great day. Stay cool and hydrated.